WNST, Towson, Baltimore. My birthday week this week coming up, 49 years young, so that means more candles, more cake, and in my case, more wine for me this week. I entered the Dundalk High Hall of Fame the following week, and we adopted a beautiful kitty this weekend, and I missed out on a trip to one of my favorite places. Anyone that knows me knows of my affinity for the Bay Area, for San Francisco. My dear friend Julio was winning the Industry Icon Award in Havana, Cuba this weekend, so he wasn't even in San Francisco. So we stayed home. We found the new animal and a new creature at it, Be More Humane, and some of my creature features and some of my best pals have been out on the road. Ed Frankovic is checking in right now from the city of sin and the city of sadness, Las Vegas, Nevada, where he spends the week before my birthday every year out in Las Vegas with his beer buddies and his gambling buddies and his golf buddies and his hockey buddies and his football buddies. Frankovic, you go out to Vegas. Not only do the Ravens go out to Oakland and win, but Alex Ovechkin did something that, as Smokey and the Bandit once said, it ain't never been done because we ain't never done it. The Ovechkin start here, dude, is as good a story as there is in sports over the weekend. It won't get its nod because it's just hockey and it's Alex Ovechkin, but, dude, that ain't ever been done before. What the hell, right?
Yeah, and I love the Smoking the Bandit reference. You know, we did watch it on the way out to Vegas.
I know you did. I know you did.
The 100 years since somebody had back-to-back hat tricks to start the season, and all the talk all summer about the Capitals are washed up, Ovechkin's too old, blah, blah, blah. You and I talked about it.
They can't win the President's Trophy. Yeah, we don't want them to win the President's Cup, right? I mean, we don't. That's not really what we want. We want a Stanley Cup here, not the President's. We don't hang banners for that around here, right? I mean, that's. But that being said, when you get off to that kind of a start, it's like, well, maybe they will be the best team in hockey this year. Who knows, right?
Well, you know, the grade A has been written off before in the past. He's come back with a vengeance the next year, and last season, he only had 16 even-strength goals, and we're 2 games in the season. He's got 6 already, and you know, he took the summer. We talked about he lost some weight, he changed his training routine, and the preseason he was kind of under the radar, wasn't doing a whole lot. I was really impressed with Kuznetsov in the preseason, and those two came out of the gate, and with Jacob Vrana on their line, boy, they've been something. And the Capitals down 3-1 in that first game in Ottawa, and then all of a sudden Kuznetsov and Ovi just take off, and Holtby's been fantastic as well. So I look at, you know, these first 2 games between Holtby and Ovechkin and Kuznetsov. We talked about the star player is going to have to be their star players. We said that all summer, all in the preseason, and so far they're sticking to the script. And I think just for Ovechkin to get off to this kind of start. Now look, it's historic. You know, 100 years since somebody scored 7 goals or 6 goals in 2 games. He's got 7. You know, that pace is not going to keep up. But they're in a grueling stretch of 6 games and 10 nights to start the season. There's everybody's burying this team. And, you know, let everybody keep picking Pittsburgh to win the division like the prognosticators did. The last 2 years it was caps, caps, caps. This is a shot in the arm. This is a confidence boost. This is going to help them.
Well, this lets you know that they're still capable. You know, he's not going to score 3 goals every night. I mean, you know, that's inconceivable at this point. But that being said, at any point, they know he's got that club in his bag and that the franchise has that. Now, when that shows up in April and May, then they shall, you know, grow beards and, you know, play for the chalice. But they can't do that right now. It's October. The most they can do is go out there every night and give an honest effort, stay healthy, and play up to their capabilities. And, you know, Tampa coming up, Pittsburgh coming up this week, right? And, you know, this thing gets going kind of hot and bothered early, and the NHL schedule gods do this on purpose. They do like to get some good games early to sort of, you know, stimulate, hey, that hockey season's here, hey, look at us. And Ovechkin scoring 7 goals over the weekend sort of says, hey, Caps tickets are on sale now.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough stretch, and that's, like you said, Tampa is a very good team. Everybody had them kind of the team coming out of the Atlantic Division last year. They just got ravaged with injuries. Their best player, Steven Stamkos, went down in November, and it was a nightmare season for them. So you can't take wins for granted in this league. And the Capitals certainly don't have the depth they had last year, but they still have a lot of very good players, strong up the middle, strong in net. And this game on Monday night's going to be tough. And then you got the defending champs coming in on Wednesday, who went into Nashville on Saturday and won a game 4-0 after Chicago blew their doors off 10-1.
Yeah, there's some weird opening scores, right? There were some wild, not just the Caps when you look up and it's 6-1 in the second period or whatever, and Ovechkin scoring goals to a period. But, there's been other weird stuff going on in the league the first couple days.
Yeah, and, I'm out here in Vegas, and the Golden Knights have rallied their first two games to come back and win. Marc-Andre Fleury, we talked so much about him in the playoffs and what he did to the Capitals. I got to catch some of these first two games by Vegas. Granted, they were on the road, but he looked like the guy in the playoffs. Whether he can keep that up or not, we'll see. But just a lot of neat things. Columbus went in and just blew off the doors of the Islanders 5-0. The Rangers play a wild one with Toronto 8-5. Connor McDavid gets a hat trick in his first game. There's a lot to like about the league right now. There's a lot of young players. There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of speed. And I think Alex Ovechkin just decided, hey, I'm still here, guys. Take a look at what I just did this weekend. So it's going to be great for the Capitals getting off to this type of start. You and I, when we talked last week, we talked about we need this red beacon of light, but, the Ravens were struggling. There was a lot going on.
Oh, man. I mean, right? I mean, outside of everything. I mean, the Orioles stunk at the end. We're watching the Yankees and the Red Sox play and the Nationals, and the Ravens looked like the season was going into the toilet. And, things have turned around here, right? And which brings us, and I'll circle back with hockey, and we'll talk some Lightning and Penguins this week, and maybe even a little bit more Caps in a segment. But, I know what a Ravens aficionado you are. Give me a little Vegas weekend. I mean, first off, how are things out there? Because you've been out there 3-4 days, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. It seems, to be business as usual. And I actually walked through Mandalay Bay on Friday night. We went over to Luxor and saw Carrot Top. Not a bad act, to be honest. He's pretty funny, actually. But, there's some makeshift, memorials for the people, and it's very sad. And you drive by Mandalay Bay, and you can see the hole in the hotel there. But by and large, people have it's all over the news here too, and a lot of prayers. And I overheard one guy saying, "Yeah, I went to church this morning. It was packed. You couldn't move in there." And so there's a lot of heavy hearts. But when you get down to it, Vegas is still Vegas, and I really thought there'd be a little more buzz about the hockey team out here, Ness. Friday night I'm walking through and in the Luxor and Mandalay Bay, and the Knights are playing against the Stars, and you had to really search to find it on the TV, which was a little disappointing. But
but conversely, on Sunday afternoon, what's the Raiders thing? The Raiders have fans everywhere, right? I mean, there are Raiders fans in every casino in Vegas long before the Raiders are going to show up and play in Vegas, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of Raider fans around, but the buzz is mixed out here. There's some people that want the team, and there are others that don't. They don't want the change. They don't want the traffic. They know what a new stadium is going to bring. But, I didn't feel a huge buzz, but there's always been a lot of Raider fans here, a lot of Niner fans. A lot of people come in from California for the weekend every time I'm out here. But, boy, the Ravens really just put one on them, right from the get-go. And I really think the fact that the Ravens were able to go vertical early, something our partner Brian Billick likes to say, you got to have those high hitting plays,
explosive
plays. Yes.
He retweeted us. Right after the play, I said, "There's that explosive," and Billick put eyeballs and a smiley face, Billick moving into the emoji era for us. So yes, I did appreciate that at Coach Billick.
It was nice to see the coach. Taking to the social media the new way, if you will, and he does a great job with it. I mean, he's a must follow because of just his football knowledge. But I thought the best thing about the Ravens today was just the play of the offensive line. I mean, no sacks, the running game, just the way they. I mean, when was the last time they got the ball with 10 minutes left and just took the air out of the ball for 8 minutes? I mean, that reminded me of Jamal Lewis.
Well, they did that in Cincinnati a couple weeks ago. I mean, we have seen that in their arsenal on the road, and that's a nice thing to have, that 10-minute offense in the fourth quarter when you got a 10-point, 13-point, 14-point lead. I just don't. It was so out of the blue, this game. I mean, of all the days, look, I've gotten on planes, I've flown across the country, Ed, you know that, and as we got into earlier on here with the jet lag and the loss of my mom and the loss of my cat and just where my wife and I were, we literally just canceled the trip this weekend. It's the first road game of this magnitude at this time of the season that I've ever missed, and I'm not sorry I missed it in any way. I sort of had some head clearing to do as well as some condo clearing to do in my own right here. But, I don't ever remember as shocking a result as this. And, by the way, as shocking as 44-0 was 2 weeks ago when I'm sitting in Wembley Stadium at 11 in the morning and they're getting their ass kicked, that was completely shocking to me. I thought the Pittsburgh thing was more indicative of they were in trouble. When they came home and couldn't get their chin straps ready for the Steelers at home, I thought that's really a bad vital sign, right? I mean, we could all say that. This Oakland thing is, it's week to week, man, right? We're all refreshed now. I mean, it's all different season when you go out there and lay it down on Oakland the way they did on Sunday.
Yeah, they were really at a crossroads, Ness, 2-2, and they were having a hard time protecting the quarterback. They were having a hard time getting to the quarterback, and it's so line play is so important. And without Yonda on the offensive side and Brandon Williams, I mean, what a loss he is on the defensive side. He's such a force. It's amazing watching the difference in the defense without him. And then Jimmy Smith gets hurt, even though he gets a touchdown, he gets hurt. So, but they have some depth at corner for once. I mean, the last 3-4 years, somebody goes out at corner and they're done. The other team's just picking them apart. And so there's a cause for optimism if they can find a way to beat Chicago this week, and then they get a bye week and maybe get Brandon Williams back on the defensive side. You know more about the situation than I do, but if they can get these lines right, and I like the way Flacco handled last week and took it on himself. That's a leader, right? That's a leader saying, you know what? I mean, we all know he's getting killed back there, but, Joe took it on himself, said, you know what, I'm going to play better, and he certainly did on Sunday.
He is Ed Frankovic. He is Ed Frankovic out on Twitter as well, doing all things Caps, but he is a Ravens and an Orioles aficionado as well, and are now 3 years of friendship, I guess, of doing this with the Caps. And, for talking Caps at this point in the season, everybody say, well, hey, it's a football Monday. We got baseball going on. Nationals have found themselves, in some hot water here over the weekend, as have some other teams by losing a home game to begin the weekend. But I'll say this for the Caps, man. The beginning here has created some fireworks with Ovechkin, and this doesn't end. I mean, Lightning's going to be a team they're going to see again in April or May. They got them tonight. They got the Penguins on Wednesday. Then it's the Devils, the Flyers on my birthday. Devils on Friday the 13th. How weird is that? And then the Flyers for the even scarier Saturday the 14th, my birthday. This is a big week of hockey here this week for the Caps.
Yeah, I mean, it is grueling. 6 games in 10 days against all good teams. The Devils are certainly a much improved team. More Marcus Johansson's up there. Excuse me, they won their first game 4-1. They're looking pretty good. The Flyers went out west, and they went out and they beat the Ducks, I believe, and then had a tough one with the Kings. So Flyers have certainly a young defense. They're an up-and-coming team. The Eastern Conference is much, much more stacked, if you will, than the West. I think what you're looking at West is 9 teams really fighting for 8 spots. In the East, it's pretty wide open. I mean, you look at the Caps division, with Columbus, the Caps, the Penguins, the Rangers, Carolina's up and coming, the Flyers are up and coming, the Devils are improved. I don't think the Devils have enough. And then that other side with Tampa, Ottawa, Montreal. It's just Toronto with Austin Matthews and that team, Patrick Marleau. The East is very competitive. It's going to be very, very difficult to make the playoffs.
Ed Frankovic joining us here. He is Ed Frankovic out on Twitter. You're losing your breath out there, man. Vegas is taking your breath away, right?
Yeah, it is, Ness. I picked up a little something out here on the way out. I don't know, and you never really sleep in Vegas.
Oh, that casino air too. I mean, there's never any fresh air in that joint, right?
Yeah, it's too much smoking out here. That's the one thing I don't like. But where we go, we watch the games on Sunday. We watched the Ravens put the beat down on the Raiders. There was no smoke in there. So
Did you hit my joint, tacos and beer yet, or no?
We did not.
Well, the loss is all yours. I don't know what to tell you. You asked me for a winner in Vegas. I give you a winner, and you don't even take the winner I give you, man.
Yeah. Well, I'll make sure next year when I'm out here, we definitely will hit that spot. We did hit a pretty good Mexican place right before we went to the show at the Luxor on Friday, but a lot of sports. I saw a lot of hockey. I saw a lot of college football. I saw a lot of NFL. So, it's just a guy's week. When you come out here, you get to see it all. And, a lot of people from different areas. And I saw a lot of hockey jerseys. Saw some Knights apparel. I would have thought I would have saw more, but, You know, it's funny, Ness, as I'm leaving the airport out of BWI on Thursday to head to Vegas, I actually had a Caps T-shirt on, one of the Winter Classic ones, because I love that logo. It's such a good look, the Caps Winter Classic shirt. Some guy walks up to me and getting off the plane, coming in Southwest Terminal. He says, "What are they giving those away now?" Kind of like a shot at the Caps. You know, people were buried them before the season.
7 goals later when you get back on the plane to leave, right?
Yeah, I would love to see that guy again in the airport. I don't know if he's from Pittsburgh or where he's from, but let's say, hey, you know, did you see that number 8 guy this weekend? You see that number 70 guy in net? See that number 92 guy making all those passes? The Caps ain't going away, buddy.
Well, you know, they did win last year. I saw a guy in a Penguins jersey walking through the harbor on Saturday night, and I thought the same thing. Great having you on, Ed. Safe travels back. Tacos and beer if you still have time in Vegas, man. Get in a cab right now, get in an Uber, tacos and beer. Trust me, you'll be happy you did. Eddie, always a pleasure, man. Be well. We'll talk some more Caps later on in the week, all right?
Sounds great, Ness, and congrats on the new kitty.
You got it. I appreciate that. Craig Laughlin's going to be coming on this week after the Tampa game as well. We got great guests this week. I mean, Chicago, all my Chicago friends, my Chicago Mafia, they're all going to be coming on, all my old sporting news buddies, to talk some Bears. The Bears. And we also got a lot of baseball happening this week as we prepare for the League Championship Series. Good baseball so far. Red Sox battling back to get back in the thing. So, we'll see how it all turns out here in the American and National League. But certainly fast starts for the Tribe and the Astros as well as the Dodgers. Nationals waffling a little bit. Nice comeback game, too. You can find me out in the BuyAToyota.com audio vault 24 hours a day from anywhere in the world on your mobile device by downloading the TuneIn Radio app. We do come in crystal clear from wherever you happen to be. Our morning newspaper ships to your email inbox free of charge and very, very easily at 7 a.m. Every morning it happens. Just open your email. Boom, it's there. It's the morning newspaper. It's all brought to you by our friends at Planet Fitness and PlanetFitness.com, where it's still $10 a month to get in the best shape of your life, guaranteed. Last but never least, breaking news happens first on the WNST Tech Service right here on the mobile device. It's all brought to you by Coons Ford of Security Boulevard. Dennis Kolatzis is going to be here on Thursday, driving you home from 3 until 5. That is the SSV on WNST. We're all happy that the Ravens have picked up a victory against the Oakland Raiders. So we got Chicago this week, Minnesota next week. My birthday's this week. We have a new cat. Good stuff's happening. I'm going in the Dundalk High Hall of Fame next week. We're having a Dundalk Day next Friday to celebrate. I thought my mom would still be with us because when I got that invitation, my mom was still with us a couple months ago. But we're going to make a hootenanny about it. We're going to have some pizza, some crabs, some beer, some fun, some laughs. I'm going to wear my Dundalk High jacket. I'm going to sing the Dundalk High alma mater that no one knows but me, I think, on the whole planet. Should do a head count on that, like over the next 2 weeks. How many people really could sing the Dundalk High alma mater? I can. Maybe that's why they're putting me in the Hall of Fame. Maybe that's the last question they ask you, you know? Do you know the alma mater? Yes. All right, we'll put you in the Hall of Fame. Great, thanks. Sing, Let each fellow join our chorus. It's a Dundalk thing. I got to open those shirts. The guy in Dundalk, Ireland sent me something too, but I'm going to get John Keller on this week to discuss that with us. All right. We'll break out. Buy a Toyota Audio Vault there 24 hours a day. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram, streaming live on our Facebook as well as our YouTube WNSTV channel. We are WNST.net, AM 1570, and WNST Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports.